I'm Joan London. Welcome to DirecTV Hometown Heroes, a show about our subscribers from all over the country who perform extraordinary acts of kindness and courage every day. Tonight you'll meet a flight attendant who travels the world to transform the lives of children.
The love that we've delivered is truly making a difference.
We're going to the Everglades.
A former teacher dedicated to preserving Florida's most precious resource.
When you save the environment, you are definitely saving people.
And two young people from Boston determined to do everything in their power to make sure nobody goes hungry.
Honestly, there's nothing better in the world than giving back to others.
This is DirecTV Hometown Heroes.
People get ready, there's a train coming, picking up passengers from coast to coast. All you need is faith to hear that diesel humming. You don't need no ticket, you just get on board.
Our first story tonight has an international flair. Flight attendants are rarely at home for long. We recently met one who proves that you can be a hometown hero wherever you go, even in a hometown that's halfway round the world. El Salvador is a country of contrast. It's a tropical paradise, yet more than a third of its population lives below the poverty line. A nonprofit organization called Airline Ambassadors is trying to change that, one village at a time.
We work on projects that deal with poverty and hunger, education, health, disaster relief, and community development. Really, we're here to empower these people in all ways.
Even as a little girl, Airline Ambassadors founder Nancy Rivard felt destined to do something special with her life.
I remember feeling that I had a mission to use my life in some way that was significant.
Nancy's quest to find meaning in her life led her to a career as a flight attendant. She traveled the world, but everywhere she went, there were children in need.
I saw so many children that had the same basic needs for school supplies, for health care, for clean water. I wanted to somehow make a difference, and I thought, what can I do where I am? And I looked in the overhead bins, and there were some empty ones. I looked in the belly of the aircraft, and I saw empty seats. And I said, what if we put HIV meds in the overhead bin? What if we bring even school supplies to one or two children? It could change their lives.
Nancy knew she was onto something. Over the next few years, she signed up over 600 flight attendants to form Airline Ambassadors. They did everything from transporting sick children for treatment to delivering medicine and basic necessities to those in need overseas.
We've been delivering a lot of aid all over the world.
Over the next 12 years, Nancy turned Airline Ambassadors into a worldwide movement for change.
I did.
We went along with Nancy and volunteer Tara Hunnewell on their most recent trip, this time to El Salvador.
Here we come.
Tara is holding one of 25 sewing machines donated specifically for this trip. This is Tara's third trip to El Salvador with Airline Ambassadors. She knows the goal is to do a great deal of good in a very short time.
Got my sewing machine.
First day we arrive, and it's like, you just get straight to work because you're there to be of service.
Come on, guys.
Later in the day, they'll hand-deliver the sewing machines. But first, they have an important stop to make.
Hi, children.
This is a center for children that are quite poor.
Nancy and the Airline Ambassadors support this daycare center by giving each child a friendship bag.
This is for you.
It contains much-needed school supplies, hygiene kits, and a gift from an American pen pal.
We have programs where we visit the schools in America and have the children write little letters with a photograph of themselves in these friendship bags, and we get the children to write back to them.
These letter exchanges are just part of Nancy's vision for dramatically enlarging the scope of Airline Ambassadors' community efforts.
Our mission is to create the infrastructure for hundreds and thousands of people to be directly helping one another.
One example of Nancy's vision at work is Kiwanis Village, the next stop on her packed schedule. This is a community that owes its very existence to Nancy after a fateful visit in 2001.
I had brought my third airplane into El Salvador. And right when we landed back in the States, I get a phone call that there's been a major earthquake, and we came right back down. And sure enough, I mean, it was a horrible situation. Millions of people were made homeless, and thousands were pouring into refugee camps.
After the earthquake, Nancy realized the people of El Salvador needed as much help as she could possibly give.
We partnered with 5 organizations to build a community for these people.
So I'm taking you the back way into the community.
They started small. A local official donated land in the junkyard. Then Airline Ambassadors donated supplies and taught the locals how to build their own homes.
We were able to provide housing for 150 families, and the families got title to that land.
This was all dirt. I don't know how these trees have grown so fast. Okay, so this is the living room. Que bonita. They have a kitchen back here.
The modest homes often overflow with extended families, but for these new homeowners, it's a huge improvement on the kind of poverty few Americans could imagine.
She said they used to live in a little house made of, I think, metal before. So now this is much better and easier.
Nancy recognizes that unemployment is the biggest hurdle to improving lives here. She aims to change that as well. Nancy's brought the sewing machines for a local vocational sewing center where she's greeted with a hero's welcome. Nancy was instrumental in convincing authorities to open the sewing center.
It is our great pleasure as Airline Ambassadors to bring sewing machines and hope to Kiwanis Village.
After formalities, the villagers sign up for a coveted seat in the sewing class that relies on the donated sewing machines.
The women pay $5 a month, which enables them to take the classes.
After 3 months of class, the sewing machines are theirs to keep.
They will have their own sewing machine to bring home with them, and they will have a job, and they'll be able to make a living.
It's all part of Nancy's long-term plans for the community.
Our goal is to provide full employment, education for the people, and a good and healthy lifestyle.
If that's Nancy's goal, she's well on her way. Last year, Airline Ambassadors delivered more than $4 million in food, clothing, and medical supplies to 24 countries around the world.
We're able to turn every dollar donated, actually, into $35 worth of aid. And more than that, it's the love that we've delivered and the connection and the hope we've given communities that's truly making a difference.
Volunteers like Tara say their lives have been changed by meeting Nancy and seeing how she never stops reaching out to others.
It is an honor to be doing this work and to be part of such an amazing organization, and I just look forward to so much more. I'm just in love with the children here. I'm in love with this work. I'm in love with Nancy.
Congratulations to all of you.
For more than 12 years, Nancy Rivard has thought of little else but how she can help others. Her tireless work hasn't always been easy, but everywhere she looks, she sees something special happening.
When you see those faces of those children looking back at you with gratitude, and those women today that were clapping when they received those sewing machines, what I've noticed is that the volunteers are becoming inspired, the children are being helped, and something else is happening from the love. It's spreading more than we can imagine.
Later this year, Nancy will host a big Airline Ambassadors fundraiser at the United Nations in New York. For reaching out beyond our borders and improving the lives of countless children, Nancy Rivard is a DirecTV hometown hero. Coming up next, school children take action to save the environment.
Oh, I see it.
And later, a brother and sister team up to feed the hungry.
Our mission is eventually to end hunger.
DirecTV Hometown Heroes will be right back.